Hello, senoritas and senors. Today we'll be talking about Moerumba, the second villain of Moerumba Percure Splash Star. Moerumba, let's get started. All information comes from the Percure wiki fandom. Moerumba is the second enemy from Darkfall in Moerumba Percure Splash Star. He is the fire elemental and guards the Fountain of Fire. After Carrion fails and returns to his natural element, Moerumba begins to fight the Cure Bloom and Cure Egret. Moerumba comes from the third season of Percure, Moerumba Percure Splash Star. He made his debut in episode 8 and his home place is Darkfall. Moerumba's role is that of a villain. His theme is fire and his powers is creating Uzainas and he can manipulate fire. Moerumba's VA is Keiichi Nemba. Moerumba appears in a duet song with the other villains of Splash Star. We covered the 7 fountains, counterattack of the 5th element. Moerumba's appearance is a reference to female samba dancers performing in the Brazilian Carnival Festival. He wears a red and purple bodysuit with a broad top that extends to a belt around his waist. Instead of feathers, plants, or fringe, his clothing is made of green fire swirls. According to the Moerumba Percure Splash Star memory book, these are a reference to Buddhist deity Achala. These fire swirls also curl around his boots and his eyebrows. His blonde hair resembles fire, and also his hairpiece Brazilian Carnival dancers often wear. He has white skin and red eyes and red eyebrows. As the memory book points out, his purple makeup makes him resemble of kabuki actors. He also has pointy ears and wears diamond-shaped earrings. After being revived, part of the green flames making up the outfit become black, and he wears Gorion's marking on a purple hairband instead of treating it as a cute accessory. He can assume an elemental form which looks like a fire spirit with a swirl twisting laugh. A lover of dance, Moerumba often dances and snaps his fingers. He has a feminine vibe to him and a habit of sprinkling Spanish and Portuguese into his common speech. Mostly ole, senor, senhor, senorita, senorina. He speaks a little English as well as mostly come on and it's showtime. Showtime. He also often says cha-cha, which is a reference to the Kamban dance cha-cha-cha. Being the element of fire and guard of the Fountain of Fire, Moerumba tends to rush head first into battle. Moerumba has a crush on him and flirts with him in episode 41. Carrion doesn't appreciate the hands-on affection because he is susceptible to burning as a tree elemental. However, as Gorion points out, if the two don't bicker and work together, they make a very strong compassion against the Cures. Team up in episode 43 and combine their powers as well. When Kitaleski senses a powerful surge from the Cures, he warns Moerumba not to fight them and even shouts at him when hot-headed Moerumba goes away anyway, showing some concern that way. In Percure All-Stars CX2, the two team up against Tsubomi and Erika and fight against the Yes Pretty 5 Go-Go Cures. Miss Shittertear and Moerumba are in tune despite being opposite elements, even finishing their synthesis with each other. In the second Percure Dream Story bonus manga, Miss Shittertear appears alongside Moerumba. They have formed a villain girl group alongside Regain and Vivis in Crush and Invent concerts dressed like a Brazilian carnival dancers, most likely Moerumba's idea. Often afterwards, having won the contest, they have a toast together to celebrate going on a luxurious cruise trip. Moerumba's name comes from Moru, which means burn, and rumba is a type of Cuban dance, which fits with Moerumba's dancing and Latin American theme. Moerumba appears to capture Floppy and Choppy for the location of the Fountain of the Sun. First, Moerumba appears to be lurking around Saki and Mai one day after the defeat of Carrion. He appears first as Mai is confronting Minori after she runs away from home that following event and tries to attack, only to be stopped by Saki momentarily. He summons an Uzarina, and after being nearly crushed in the process, begins to attack the girls. After a few failed attempts to recover the Fountain of Trees, as well as the Fountain of Sun, Gorion informs him that it's been quite a while that an Octadragon is growing impatient with him. He tells Gorion he is finally becoming serious. From this point on, he then threatens to throw Choppy and Floppy into the chilly ocean waters unless they reveal the Fountain of Sun to him. Still failing, Moerumba uses two Uzarinas at once to try and defeat the Percures. But during the battle, he is caught in her bloom and sure egrets, twin stream splash and fades away. Later, Asuka, a glass sculptor, made a glass statue of him, saying she saw him in a dream. She briefly leaves Saki and Mai alone, and during this time, the statue melts. The Cures comment that he might have gone back into what he was. Moerumba returns in episode 41 along with Carrion after Gorion steals the fairy Carfei. It revives him. He is very happy to see Carrion, but the leader is really unamused by that. Both team up and nearly defeat the Cures, but during the fight, they start arguing with each other about who should be the one to defeat them first, and Gorion takes them back to Darkfall. His last appearance is in episode 43, where he teams up with Kinkaleski. They hunt Michiru and Karu, sends those to betray Darkfall and succeeded in cornering them, but soon Saki and Mai arrive and confront them. He is defeated for good after his powers are neutralized by Michiru and Karu, and the Cures hit him with the Spiral Heart Splash Star attack. Spiral Heart Splash attack. Fact 1. It is unclear if Moerumba speaks Spanish or Portuguese because the spelling isn't able to be praised from the Romanization of his dialogue. As he references Brazilian carnival dancers, it could be influenced as Portuguese. However, it could also be Spanish due to the lack of research, possibly, and Spanish as a major language in Latin American countries, and his ties to other Latin American dancers. The Murray book suggests that their interaction hints on a long shared history. Fact 2. The Murray book suggests that their interaction hints a long history. Despite being a fire element, many of his Uzarinas are made from sea creatures and generally deemed like so. The fire theme also takes on a cooking aspect with those Uzarinas, as the memory book points out. Fact 3. Much of Moerumba's gag performance was based on Keiichi Nemba's improving. And now it's time to put out the fire as we head to talk about Dora Doran. See you next time.